Yeah, alright guys, welcome into your Raw review. Now, I just want to start off by saying, what does the WWE stand for? World Wrestling Entertainment. Now, to me, this show proves that all three of those words are completely false, in my opinion. We're going to start off with the first word, and that is world. Well, if it's such a world, if you're saying that you're a worldwide product, why can I not get the network in the UK? Why is it only available to America? It's not available to Japan, Spain, France, the UK. Like I said, it's not available for them. It's not a worldwide product. It's just for the Americans. So WWE's most prized possessions, the network being, it's only available to America. So that first word's crap. The next word is wrestling. Now, how much wrestling did we get on this show? We didn't get much, I can tell you that. A bunch of squash matches. One probably overrated match. I'm sure people have been saying it's good, but I think it's terrible. And then one, is it somewhat decent match at the end? Well, near the end of the show anyway. So there was hardly any wrestling on the show. On a 3-hour wrestling show, I bet we only had a half an hour of wrestling. Seriously, time it. I bet we did. We didn't get much wrestling at all. And the next word is entertainment. To me, this show did not entertain me. Alright. So all three of those words from that company, which they tell me, if you tune in, this is what you're going to see. All three of those words didn't apply to me. Alright. So that's all I wanted to say first off. Anyway, the start of the show, you have John Cena coming out. Ooh. And he goes, the WWE Universe wants to see Brock Lesnar beat the hell out of me. So of course, he's trying to get the crowd going, as he usually does. A yes chant starts, so it shows that nobody wants to see John Cena. They just want to see him being beaten by a pulse, alright? They want to see him beaten. Alright, that's all they want to see. That's what I want to see. He spoke some absolute garbage. Then Heyman coming out, he just spoke garbage of kissing ass to the fans. I don't care if you like me or like, I'm here and I show my passion. Fuck off, Heyman comes out and there's a nice bit where he goes nothing and he does the Taker's hand gesture. Some nice psychology there. And Cena talks more crap, and then you have Cesaro coming out. He calls Cena a walking billboard. He can't wrestle, which is true, by the way, which is nice of him to say that. But it ultimately showed, it ultimately gave the match for Cesaro to be in with John Cena, who was going to bury him. Let's be honest, Cesaro wasn't going to win. John Cena's there to elevate superstars. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I can give you a lot of names of wrestlers who he has buried. Right? See Bray Wyatt, Ryback. This guy sucks. Sandow as well. This John Cena sucks. Alright, he's been shoved down our throats for 9 years, and it's continuing, and we're sick and freaking tired of John Cena. Okay, we had this stupid ass match, which I didn't give a shit about. The commentators were saying that Cena can wrestle. Cena can wrestle. He's running rings around Cesaro, who can actually wrestle. He's been in the Ring of Honor and that. He shows some good shit in there. And then he has to, put John Cena over to show that he can actually wrestle. Well, I'm sorry, WWE, but you're not insulting my intelligence. You're not proving me wrong, because I know that John Cena can't wrestle. This match ultimately was to show that John Cena can wrestle, which is complete bullshit. Alright, complete and utter bullshit. To win the match, we have an AA from the top rope. A lot of arse bumps from John Cena. If you can wrestle, you wouldn't be doing all those arse bumps. He's got a limited moveset. There's no diversity with this guy. Everything he does is awkward. It's stale. In the ring, he's garbage. Alright, he's absolute trash. But this match really showed, that John Cena can wrestle. My ass. My ass. This is probably the worst segment of the show. I understand that people are going to say this is a good match because Cesaro carried John Cena. Alright, you watch the match back. What did John Cena ultimately do in this match? Absolutely not much. Alright, not much at all. His usual shit, which, by the way, I'm not entertained by. And he can't wrestle. Alright, he can't. He's not very good at it anyway. Alright. If you think John Cena can wrestle, and you think he's a good wrestler, then to me it shows that you just watch WWE too much, and you should, look at other wrestling organisations. Because I'm nearly done with this shit. I'm nearly done. Because after watching that segment, I was like, fuck this, man. I'm gonna have a break. I couldn't continue watching for a bit. But anyway, after this, we had Paige coming down, slip in. She says that AJ is still her best friend. Then AJ comes out. You have Paige saying that AJ has mental problems, and then AJ attacks her. They have a bit of a brawl, and that ends the segment. So yeah, they're building up the match at Summerslam. I thought that was an alright segment in my opinion. Doing something with the Divas. I'm glad they're doing something with the Divas. They're highlighting them in a way. Showing some intensity and whatnot. I like the intensity of AJ there, and then having a bit of a brawl. It was a nice touch. It was a nice breakaway from the match, from that garbage match I had to watch. But unfortunately, you got a lot of promos on this Raw. We didn't get much wrestling. So after that, we have Triple H and Stephanie coming down. They're angry about the fans laughing at Stephanie. She calls Brie out, but instead we get Jericho who comes out. It's a bit of a surprise. He sings a song, and he asks about Triple H not going with Stephanie to the police station or whatnot. And he basically wants Bray Wyatt. And then Seth Rollins attacks and says that we'll be having this match later on in the show. It's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I don't understand why we had a big old promo about it, but we're getting the match later anyway, so that wasted some time in my opinion. After that, we come to the second match of the show. This was literally into the hour. Ziggler and the Usos versus Miz, Ryback, and they had the new formation of Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E at ringside. I wasn't a big fan of them just being at ringside. I think they should have done something else to interact with the match or something like that. But we get this match, didn't really last long. The crowd popped when Ziggler hit his zigzag on Ryback, and that ends the match. Ziggler versus Miz at SummerSlam. It looks like we're going down that route, which I'm fine with actually. Ziggler can put on a good match, and we've seen that with Miz last week on Raw. After that, we come to R-Truth versus Bo Dallas. It says about Truth being a jobber, that made me laugh. And then basically R-Truth gets the surprise win on Bo Dallas. I'm completely fine with it, he's not Goldberg, he's shown a different side to his character, which we've seen in NXT, where, he just has a tantrum when he loses. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this segment. Wasn't much of a match, but, whatever. No more Bo Dallas undefeated streak, which I'm completely fine with, actually. Completely fine with. Because I want to see this his gimmick at his full potential, and where he throws his tantrum, and it's funny, it's something to laugh at. After that, we come to another promo segment. Rusev and Lana basically come out, talks about Russia. Swagger and Zeb Cobbs come out, talk about USA. There's a brawl with Swagger and Rusev, and then Rusev just runs off. Kind of reminded me of what we've just seen with Paige and AJ Lee. After that, we come to Sandow versus Adam Rose. This match inside my intelligence. Sandow is just as Neil Armstrong, because they're in Houston, Texas. It ended within about 10 seconds, I'd say. The match was total trash. I hate Adam Rose, the character. Not for me, because there's no place for it. There is no place for this in professional wrestling, okay? It does nothing. It does nothing at all. Alright, I'm sorry, but it's just a pussified character who I could not get behind. Alright. Absolutely trash. This was a waste of time. After that, we come to Reigns. Well, the scheduled match for Reigns versus Kane, but instead we have Reigns coming down to the ring. Gets attacked by Orton. Kane chokeslams Reigns. Reigns tries to beat them up, but gets chokeslammed by Kane. Leaves him for Orton, and then RKO just beats him up. RKO's in Reigns twice on the announce table, and well, the first one didn't break, and then the second one did. It was an alright segment. I thought it dragged a bit. I thought it could have gone a bit shorter. But, you know, ultimately, I believe this is going to happen at SummerSlam, maybe. Orton versus Reigns at SummerSlam, perhaps. I wanted to watch Reigns. I wanted to see Reigns versus Triple H, though, in my opinion. But we get a match. You know, hope we get a good 20-minute match with Reigns at SummerSlam to see what he can do in the ring on his own. So it was an alright, it's a passable segment in my opinion. But after that, we had Fandango versus Fandango, you know, Belendango versus Diego. Diego wins. Who cares? Alright? Who the fuck gives a shit? No fucks were given. And no fucks were given with the next match, with the Stevens tag match. Who the fuck cares? I'm not talking about it. You have Jericho versus Rollins. We finally come to somewhat of a decent match. And the show was nearly ended. So the show to me sucked balls. We had a really cool code breaker from Jericho to Rollins, where Rollins was doing his springboard dive, and then Jericho hits him with a code breaker. Really nice spot. The Wyatt's quick transition happens with a and then all three in the ring, they attack Jericho. So it's building their match at SummerSlam. Jericho versus Bray Wyatt. Looking forward to it. You know, their second match. This was the best segment on the show, in my opinion. Then after that, we come to the main event. The show, Steph McMahon comes down. She basically gives Brie her job back. And then Brie wants a match with Stephanie at SummerSlam. She pretty much accepts in the end with some terrible acting, by the way. And slaps Brie, and then there's a little scrap, and that ends the show. That ends the show. This show, to me, sucked balls, alright? Looking at this, we had hardly any wrestling. You try and tune into a wrestling show to watch wrestling, but instead we got a soap opera. You know, we just got a soap today. We got EastEnders, Coronation Street. You know, this sucked balls, this show. I'm sorry, I was not entertained in the slightest in this show. Alright? Throughout this show, I was bored, I was unentertained. It was uninteresting and uninspiring to me. It sucked balls. This Raw was probably the worst Raws of the year. I'm telling you now, I believe that. I really do. And I gave Raw a positive reaction last week. I gave it a 7 out of 10, which is a high grade. Alright, last week's show kicks ass. I really, really enjoyed last week's show. So I don't always talk trash about the WWE. I want it to be good. But instead, we get a crappy Raw this week. And I was not entertained in the slightest. I'm going to give this Raw, alright, bearing in mind, there was only a couple of things I liked in this show. I'm going to give it a 1.7 out of 10. This show was uninteresting, uninspiring, it was trash, garbage, completely shit. Hopefully next week will be better. I'm sorry, but this Raw inside my intelligence, and I was not entertained. 1.7 out of 10 in my books. It sucked.